welcome to another episode. I'm Charles Abels, local photographer in and around Prescott Valley, and I have some great news. This is especially for those who have served in the United States Marine Corps, and more so for those that had served at Marine Barracks, Adak, Alaska. Our documentary is coming along smartly. It has been a process, I'll share that. We're about 2/3 done, but it has been a long process that has been made with the intent at being as historically accurate as possible, creating this story, creating this documentary. We made every effort to develop or to create the feel of the Marines that had served in Adak. It has, as I said, been a process. It starts out with me. I was the duty photographer, videographer on the trip to Adak. And though I was responsible for the storyboard and the editing of the documentary, it went through a vetting or approval process, as it were, whereby once I was done and I was satisfied, I would send it to the rest of the fire team, Dr. Erdman, Mike Rodgers, and Byron Bailey. We would discuss that segment, we would talk about that segment, and we would improve on that segment if we needed to. The whole purpose of this was to create a beautiful work of art about the Cold War Marines of Adak, Alaska. And we want to let you know right now that we now have a time on target. We'd like to invite all the Marines, especially those that served on Adak, Alaska with Marine Barracks, and their family to the Marine Memorial Club and Hotel in San Francisco. Below in the description is the information on this. You're cordially invited, and I would like to share at the end of this right now what's coming up next is a small trailer of the intro to our documentary that we all agreed to share to show you our passion for the history of Adak. So take a few moments, watch that, review the information down below in the description, and we hope to see you there. Semper Fi. An excerpt from the book, The 1,000-Mile War, World War II in Alaska and the Aleutians, by Brian Garfield. In the heaving darkness of the night of August 28, 1942, crossing the reefs, they paddled into Kulak Bay, dragged their rafts up on the beach, and fanned out inland. They covered ground thoroughly taking all night to sweep the island. They found no Japanese. There were not even ashes to indicate recent enemy presence on the island, code name Fireplace. In the cold morning, Costner set out an all-clear cloth strip signaled for the PBY overhead, which radioed the news once it had flown away from the island. And with that began the 56 years of military having served on Adak. When World War II ended, the U.S. military maintained its presence on the tiny island and soon became an important outpost in 1947 when the Cold War started with the Soviet Union. During that time, the United States Army handed off the base on Adak to the United States Navy and a handful of Marines to stand watch as the security force up until 1992, and the base final closing in March of 1997. Now, the former Cold War base, once full of military activities, is an empty shell of itself, falling prey to the harsh Aleutian weather. The lack of care as nature encroaches, reclaiming what is its own. Today, visitors, hunters intent on hunting caribou, the fishermen, and eco-tourists just only have a vague notion of the history of those who have served there during the Cold War. And yet, with the ravage of time, all this does not erase the memories from those who have served on Adak. Almost 82 years after the landing of the commandos assigned to sweep the island and give the all-clear, a fire team of Marines returned to Adak, having served there between 1978 and 1987. They came to celebrate, share experiences, and to bond as Marines who have experienced the birthplace of the winds during the Cold War, to tell theirs, as well as others, their story.